Diablo 4 is so bad, they're already making Diablo 5. Brought to you by a JoJo character.
In today's short Diablo news roundup, we have 3 different things to talk about. Diablo 5, we have the Diablo dev gameplay footage.
Disaster, absolute disaster. I already have 3 videos on that. It's everything you would expect.
This is like a major drama this week. And then we also have the Diablo 4 patch notes. So let's go ahead and break all of these things down. Diablo 5 won't be as long as Diablo 4, or says Mike Ybarra, Blizzard's president. Now, this is the article.
So, we're gonna get even less content for the same or a bigger price. Good to know, Blizzard.
In which all of the Diablo 5 conversation is coming from. This is a Game Rant article, which I will put down below in case you wish to read it for yourself. But basically, what this is, if we scroll down and kind of skip past most of their article, it's them sort of speculating and expanding upon one thing. The one thing is just this tweet right here by Mike Ybarra. Now, this is Ryan. He says, I finally wrote the credits in Diablo 4 campaign last night. Yeah, I know. I was level 51. Glad I eventually stopped trying to do every side quest and finally mainlined the campaign, because I've been doing side quests forever. Wow. This is my favorite Diablo campaign, etc., etc. And then Mike Ybarra here responds to the nice comment saying, thanks, Ryan. We're glad you liked it. And going forward, you won't have to wait so long between titles. We have a lot more coming to Diablo 4 and beyond. So people took this, basically, you won't have to wait long between titles as meaning Diablo 5. Now, he does...
What if, and hear me out, it's not Diablo 5, but Diablo Immortal 2. Huh? You like the idea? That sounds believable, doesn't it, actually?
Let's follow that up with, we have a lot more coming to Diablo 4 and beyond. So when I read it, I was taking it as expansions. Maybe we're not going to have to wait 10 years for a Diablo 4 expansion or something like that. But people were speculating, basically this whole article here is now saying that, well, what he's saying is you're not going to have to wait long before Diablo 5. So that's basically the entirety of it. There isn't much in here, and it's a bit of a stretch because, let's be honest, news and things to talk about in Diablo 4 are dry right now, so people are just looking for stuff to talk about. We don't have any confirmation of Diablo 5. The rest of the article is just speculating that, well, maybe they're shortening the development cycle because it did so well. They launched their records broke, and they just wanted to make more money.
I mean, true. That's true at the end of the day. Big true, in fact.
Like, it's just all speculation. There is no interviews, nothing. It's all off of one tweet. They even bring up, like, Call of Duty and the Game Pass as proof of examples of why Diablo 5 could be coming. So if you're asking me, no, Diablo 5 isn't right around the corner. This video is the new drama of the week. Comments actually got turned off on this, and it has a very bad dislike ratio if you can actually see the dislikes on it. Effectively, what this video is and why this is a drama is a concoction of multiple things that made people angry. First and foremost, this is gameplay. You take these...
It's the fact that we know more about their personal life and how lesbian they are. And I'm not kidding. If you go watch the video, if you don't believe me, it's sad, but it's true. More than we understand about any decision-making that is actually good in Blizzard as a company.
These 2 people, and they put them in a room, they put a camera in front of them, they handed them a controller with a pre-programmed level 50 character. They probably don't even play the class or something.
Dude, people didn't even notice it's a freshly made level 50. That's the probably most insane part. People didn't even notice that this is literally a level 50 with 0 experience.
And then said, just go slam these monsters and talk about your day. There didn't seem to be much point to the video. So that was the first mistake with this video, is there wasn't a reason for the video to come out. They just kind of talk a little bit. It seemed to me like
there was a reason. They were supposed to talk about what they do as developers, and they chose to not do that.
Effectively, Blizzard thought, we're in the middle of a really bad PR moment, which effectively they are this week. It's a lot of negative news. I haven't been posting videos every day because, to be honest, I don't want to say something negative about the game every day. Like, it's a little...
But I do, so you need to post more.
Bit too much. I could probably milk some pretty good headlines out of most of this drama and probably get a lot of views, but you know, it gets a little bit repetitive to just come up and say the same whiny points over and over and over again about.
I don't know. When you have no stake in Diablo 4 currently because the new League on PoE is out in like literally less than 24 hours, it's just good fun, I think. It's just good fun. Hey, I would have the same opinion if I was actually like invested deeply in Diablo 4, but I haven't touched that shit in 3 weeks at this point.
Of the day. But this one, I think, was a situation where they realized it's a negative PR moment. What we need is to seem like humans. And so what we want to do is put a few of our people in front of a camera, have them just talk about stuff on a casual
Yeah, they literally chose the worst representation of humanity also. That's like just Blizzard stuff.
level, have them play casual characters level 50 in World Tier 1. But what ended up happening was it backfired effectively because they are devs, or one of them says they're a dungeon designer, right? And
yeah.
Because of that, people are saying, so you're the reason that the game sucks. Like,
Yep.
you're level 50, you're dying in World Tier 1.
Yep.
They basically only use basic attacks all the way through
Yep.
this footage, and then they use core skills.
Now they sometimes accidentally press X, and the funny part is they press X with the Barbarian, and it's like, boop, something bigger happens. And then they, like, get scared and keep basic attacking. It's great. It's great fun.
Like 2 or 3 times while dying in World Tier 1, etc. It seems blatantly obvious to me that this is either characters they don't play, classes they don't understand, gameplay could literally be pre-recorded and they're just button mashing, or their purpose.
That would be probably even worse. Imagine, it's pre-recorded gameplay, and you couldn't get a single person in Blizzard who can actually play the game properly. That would have been the best, honestly, outcome.
Trying to make the dungeon last forever because they have to record 45 minutes of footage and whittle it down to 10 minutes or whatever for this video. I actually blame this mostly on whoever designed and implemented this video. I'm not mad at these two devs for not doing anything other than button mashing in this. They were told probably to sit down and talk about their job for like 30 minutes is what I would assume happened.
And they failed even that. Again, they literally failed that.
I think this was a terrible execution of what their actual strategy was, which I believe what their strategy is to get some humanity into their company. Have it look like here's 2 people that develop the game, have it be a bit of a PR moment. I think they could have executed this much better by having these 2 people walk around the office, showing where they work, what they do, what their day.
Oh God, can you imagine the smell? No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't want to go and see a cubicle with a 40 suit on it. I refuse. My eyes are too holy for that stuff.
Day-to-day life looks like when developing the game. You would have got the humanity angle. You would.
There's some poor guy shooting H in his veins directly because he can't cope with the stress. Some girl literally is passed out dead in another person's cubicle. Man, that would be a wild video, though, at least.
Would have got the development angle, and they could have explained what they do. I've seen this type of footage in dev interviews all the time, where they'll sit down at their office, they'll be like, here's me designing the art, here's what it looks like, and they'll actually show you like their models they're working on. I don't understand why they didn't go that route. We've already seen gameplay footage, and having a level 50 like casual chat thing with the gameplay footage that's obviously.
I can imagine how that they probably actually thought about this. Someone was like, Hey, we should do like a video about the office and something cool like that, guys. And they're like, well, yeah, but what are we gonna do? Let's make a video about how we're making the game and stuff. But we're not actually making the game. None of us actually have even worked on this game. ChatGPT pretty much did 90% of the work, and the rest aliens. Oh, so we can't do that? No. Most of us don't even know how the programs we were supposed to know how to use are named. Oh. How about we get someone who just wants attention in front of the camera so they can, have their 5 minutes of fame. And it's like, Grok the World Eater, comes up, and says, Ooga laga chaka. And they're like, got it, Grok, you're in, get on that couch. And then some girl with my haircut for some reason comes up and says, I want to be in there too. Put me in, coach! And the guy's like, I'm not your coach for the last fucking time, you insane lunatic, but get in there. That's probably how that honestly went. And you know what? Say what you will. I'm probably pretty close.
going to make everybody mad when you look at this. It just seems like poor execution. I actually kind of feel bad for these two people, because honestly, do I care if these two people, out of all the people that developed the game, do I care if these two people know how to play Diablo 4? Not really. What I do want to know is what their actual job is, because all they actually
say... if one of them is a level designer and they have not played the game, how the hell do you expect them to make a good level? How? I could make those levels in that case. I'll just draw a corridor and then we can call it a day and pay me, Blizzard.
Said was it's a dungeon designer. For all we know, it's an art designer, or it's somebody that maybe designs what the theme of it looks like, or, you know, where the shrines will go, maybe. I don't know. It could be anything. But because of the gameplay footage, the lack of a direct definition of what their role is within the company, we're having all these wild takes about how these two people are the ones that are balancing dungeons. They do all the nightmare dungeon changes. They're the ones that are the problems with the nerfs, etc.
Okay, a serious moment for it. Let's stop with the jokes for a moment here, okay? Like, this is a little bit more slightly elaborate take, and people are slowly, like, starting to use this. But the thing is, in companies, it doesn't matter if these people have no actual, like, real influence about how long the corridors are, where the shrines are placed. Because in every company, in a lot of cases, decision-making is kind of like, you know, there's one person who, like, decides how everything is done at the very end, but everyone kind of puts in their 2 cents on how things are going to happen. And when you have potentially people like this who literally don't know what the hell they are currently doing, actually have the ability to put in their input, which is based on literally, ooh, this looks cute or this doesn't look cute, well, that's how bad games are made. That's how it works. Everyone's input is taken into account in a lot of cases. Sure, there's one person who usually chooses everything at the end, how it looks and how it is, but those people can be influenced by opinions, and those people want opinions to be given to them in a lot of cases. So you see, this is why, even if both of these people literally only choose color schematics for, I don't know, like, the hilts of swords, and that's their only job at Blizzard, even then, the fact that these people don't play the game is a detriment to the game's overall health, how good it is, and all of that stuff.
You know, and then you throw in the fact it's a couple girls holding controllers, then you're going to end up with a combat turned off situation. So for me, am I mad at them? No, I don't remotely care that they spam basic attacks through it. However, I do think that whoever approved this or watched this video and thought, this is going to go well, it's like, what were you thinking? And then the
same thing as everyone in Blizzard. They thought that, you know, the smell of their own farts is good.
Conversations from there and comments and Reddit, everything kind of just spiraled down into being, like, fairly unproductive. So that's just kind of where I leave my opinion on this one. Now, there was a patch that came out August 15th, aka yesterday. A couple things that are funny about this. One, players are now in the trade channel by default. Well, that's great, considering trading just got removed, considering there is a gold and item duplication exploit. So people have literally trillions of gold at this point in the game, so trading has been removed so that gold doesn't get spread around while they go.
Hey, at least gold prices on third-party websites probably are pretty low at this point.
Through and ban it. That's pretty funny. And now, the wait time for Malignant Monster to spawn after activating a Malignant Heart in the world has been reduced from 5 to 2 seconds. This is a...
That's good. By the way, this is exactly what I said of the first time I saw a Malignant Monster being spawned. I said, yeah, they're gonna have to reduce this spawn time to, like, a second or something. Like, there's so many things that separate good developers from bad developers, and you can tell that Blizzard is a bunch of bad developers because they think things like this matter. They think in a game like Diablo, a cool animation that takes a long time matters. No, it doesn't. It needs to be a animation that is fast so you can just get on with the things that you are doing. No one wants to wait 5 seconds by clicking on that thing. And again, literally predicted that this is going to be nerfed. Because people are going to hate it. The very first moment we got the trailer on and saw this happen.
Good addition. What was it? Rax and Terrence. I'm sure I'm butchering his name. Rax, okay? He had a really good video that I watched that talked about please stop slowing us down, in which I agreed with every single word, which he was talking about all the different things like the heart spawning, the warping out of the dungeons, the clicking on the events, and then you have to sit there for 15 seconds of like ASMR of the girl talking to you before the event actually starts.
Oh, true! And when the event ends.
A lot of things in the game that just are like waiting periods that if you removed those, the constant progression of XP and action that would happen would be a lot smoother. And this is one such thing that removal of that is nice. There's one other thing, which is that this is kind of a bigger issue, which is that nightmare dungeons could be repeated by promoting other party members to leader. So you could open like a really good nightmare dungeon like the dopamine tunnels, for instance, and then people would just swap the leader around and you'd be able to spam this. And this is a speed run strategy that lets you get a lot of experience very quickly. And now that one is patched out of the game. There's
more things that people like that get nerfed and removed. Wow. Great job, Blizzard.
one other point that somebody made that I thought was kind of interesting, which is that when they nerfed items, okay, when they nerfed items in the game for like armor, vulnerability, critical damage, all that, it nerfed your current items you own. But when they buffed items, like you know how Temerity on the last patch got buffed, right? When they buffed them, you have to refarm those items. They actually make you refarm the new ones. So it's kind of like a yin-yang of when they nerf it, your items get nerfed, but when they get buffed, your items don't get buffed. You have to go refarm them. I thought that was a funny point I read about.
Oh, wow.
To be honest, I don't mind
I did not know that.
refarming them. I thought it was just funny, as well as it's kind of a little bit of like a status item. Some of these older discontinued items, like Temerity, if you have an old version of Temerity now, that's kind of like a discontinued item. The OG version of that item isn't going to show up again, so it's kind of cool. It's almost like a collector's piece. I wouldn't crunch those. It shows how long you've been in the game. Also, this one I want to mention.
Too bad you don't have any stash space to actually store them.
Druid's bug that made Boulder basically suck. Couldn't do more than 100% damage with the amulet, or, you know, the aspect of it that makes it basically a core skill here. This is interesting. This is now fixed. I would like to see some Boulder builds for the Druid come out, so we might mess around with that a little bit. That's about it for the news recap today. I'm going to go live at Dark Microtransaction. This is twitch.tv/Dark Microtransaction. You can find me.
Great video. Had fun. 10 out of 10 DM. 10 out of 10. Anyway, this was Chris Sense. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.